Ladies and gentlemen, I am Popcan Dan, and this is The Plan. Hey, cut it out, man. Oh! Alright, that's it. Come on, really? Who does that? Alright, hey everybody. It is Popcan Dan. No more cans flying at me, thank goodness. But listen, the ground's frozen here in Canada. So I decided, this has been a month or two in the making. I've wanted to do this. I'm going to put out a series of videos. I call it The Plan. Maybe The Plan, Volume 1, Volume 2, or Episode 1, Episode 2, whatever. I'm going to put out a few of them over the winter while the ground's frozen. So there's no detecting in the videos, all right, folks? I want you guys to understand that. I just don't want anybody commenting, going, how come there's no detecting in the videos? Because the ground is frozen up here, man, and we can't detect. So you know what? I found other things to do. This is a time to do research, and this is the time to have a little bit of fun. Also, there's a little bit of fun, but also a little bit of seriousness in these videos as well. I'm going to be covering a bunch of different things. Everything from the code of ethics, which you hear in all my videos, to some fun, lighthearted stuff as well. And as you guys know, I'm all about the fun and lighthearted stuff, man. between Redbeard, the Bradford Beeper, and myself, man, oh man, it is just off the hook fun. So anyways, that's what I want to do. I'm going to be covering a whole bunch of different things. I went out and I got a couple of different detectorists from all over North America who are, some are YouTubers, some are not YouTubers. And I got their perspectives. I got a series of questions. I got 14 questions that I had asked each of them, and I got them to answer them for me. And you're going to hear their perspectives. And some of these questions are lighthearted. Some are serious questions, and there's no right or wrong answer. It's just a perspective. It's one person's opinion, and it doesn't mean it's a right or wrong. So we're going to have a lot of fun with this kind of stuff. All right. As you can see, I took the door off my cupboard in the garage where I store my detectors. That's my backdrop. Just silly stuff. Anyways, let's get to it, man. Let's have a little bit of fun, all right? Here we go. All right, first thing on the agenda is the elephant in the room. And I don't mean me, all right? I am not the elephant in the room, though you may think I am. I am not. The elephant in the room, COVID, Corona, whatever you want to call it, the pandemic. How did it affect you this year? My take, the Redbeard, the Bradford Beeper, and myself, the three of us took the same stance. When it broke in mid-March and it started getting crazy, that was when we decided, the three of us, we were hanging up our detectors for the year. Not for the year, or for the foreseeable future. So we hung them up, mid-March, April, May. So man, there was 4, 8, probably 10 weeks where we didn't detect indetectable ground, when you could actually be out there detecting. We chose to kind of just hang them up for a bit. Not saying it was the right or wrong. Once again, it's just, that was our perspective. That's how we felt. By the time June rolled around, I started to see people talking, and different, the government was saying, you know what, get outside, get some exercise. And I started calling around to some of the permissions that I have, and they're like, you know what? Yeah, go ahead, man. I'm fine. So that was when we went back in June. Started detecting again. And you know what? I said to myself, I said to the Bradford Beeper and Redbeard, I said, I think the detecting gods are going to be good to us this year because we chose to do that. I think it'll pay off for us down the road. And I got to tell you, man, this was one of the best years I had. It really was. Some of my finds were crazy, man. Still after that elusive bucket lister, my Dragon Slayer. These are tokens from 1850 to 1857 up here in Canada. Still don't got it. I watched the Bradford Beeper on his permission. I was there many times with him this year. I watched him dig 4, not 1, not 2, not 3, not 5, but 4 Dragon Slayers in front of me while I was there with him.
Oh, you're going to be mad. It's another friggin' Slayer from,
And these are my bucket listers, and I cannot find one to save my life. I don't know what it is. I found some really crazy coins over there. I found an 1813 classic head American large cent. I found an 1831 Ships and Commerce token, an 1832 T.S. Brown and whatever that was, and Sons Montreal token. I mean, just some phenomenal coins. I can't get that though. There's something about it. I don't know what it is. I just can't get it. But anyways, I want to hear from you guys. Everything I talk about, I want you guys to comment in the video as well. I want to hear how the pandemic went for you, because we're going to be talking, answering different questions. I got all my questions that a lot of the detectorists had answered, but I want you guys, so you're going to hear their answers, but I want you guys to comment in the comment section, hey, how did the pandemic go for you? Was it good? Was it bad? Let me know in the comments, please. I do want to know that. Okay, and I'm just going to show one thing. That's all I'm going to show this time around. This was by far my best find of the year, if not of my detecting career. A 1785 half real, Spanish half real. It was, when I found that, I could not believe. When I flipped over the plug, I saw, because I don't have my glasses on, I'm like, it looks like silver. And I started cleaning around it, and I said, I think I got some silver. I'm not sure if it was old or new, because I didn't have my glasses on. But it wasn't until I plucked it out of the plug that I held it, and I'm like, oh, that is so thin. What the heck, man? So it was right down here in the plug. I tore it away, and there it is right there. I don't know exactly. Let's clean this a little. It's really small. Oh, it's small and thin. What do we got here? This is really thin. Let me clean it up. All right, hang tight. And then I pulled out the magnifying glass and I got all the tools, and I started looking at it, and all of a sudden I saw 1785, and I was like, oh my gosh, folks. Yeah, and then the more I looked at it, I could see what's the dude's name? Carlos, Big Nose Carlos there on the side, Big Nose Carlos. I saw him and I'm like, yes, I couldn't believe it. And I called the Bradford beeper. He was over and when I called him, the funny thing was, normally I call him, I go, hey, and I'll do a coin sign or something. And when I called him, I guess there was a seriousness in my voice. And I said, you got to get over here. And he dropped everything he had and he ran. Like he came around up through the meadow, and he was up there like he knew. When he got up there, he said, I knew it was serious just by the tone of your voice.
Really, no kidding, you have to come over here.
And there it was. Yeah, I couldn't believe it. And I became a member of the 1700s Club this year. And I never, ever thought, I was hoping I'd become a member of the 1700s Club with maybe a token, 1795, 1790, with late 1700s. I never thought it would be with a Spanish silver, though. That was crazy, man. Oh, so that's my find of the year right there. Folks, no video would be complete of mine if I did not talk about the Code of Ethics, all right? I just want to spin through it again quickly, because it's mandatory that it needs to be spoken about. It needs to be fresh in everybody's mind all the time, because from what I hear out there, people are quickly forgetting about the Code of Ethics of detecting, and it's only hurting us in the end. It's going to wind up sinking the hobby if you do not obey to the Code of Ethics, all right? And when let's talk about the first one, the big one, the elephant in the room. Here's the elephant in the room. I'm talking about permissions/trespassing, all right? I go around, I get permissions, I work hard at it, man. Don't think it's easy for me. I get turned down a lot. Yeah, everyone thinks, oh, Dan, now he got a permission. He just walks in and asks, and shines his old tombstones there, and he gets on. I don't. I really don't. It's not easy for me, all right? I work hard at it, and I am very protective of the permissions I get. So when I get a message from somebody, a private message, and they say to me, I know where you were detecting. I know exactly where you're detecting. I know that place. My response is not going to be the most polite. I'm going to say, I'm glad you know that place. But just keep driving by, dude. Do not even stop or even think about, Oh, well, I know Dan. I could walk in that field. Because I'll tell you this. Two of the permissions I have, well, no, sorry, one of the permissions I have and one of the permissions that the Bradford Beeper has, they don't take kindly to trespassers. And when I say that, I'm talking about old school shotgun in the pickup truck and when they drive around their property and they patrol the property. And it's like, and then I have other permissions where it's like, yeah, it's not as extreme. But the bottom line is you do not trespass on people's properties. It's a criminal offense, man. It's criminal for starters. That's people's private property, all right? You really need to man up and you go get your own permissions and work at it, man. We're going to talk about, one of the questions I have in this video is how the best way to approach getting permissions. We're going to teach you how to do that, man, in these videos. Don't just go on someone else's permission. It's not cool. Not cool at all right? The next one, let's talk about trash. Taking your trash with you. Why would you dig up trash and put it back in the hole, all right? That doesn't make any sense. Number two, why would you dig up trash and just leave it? I mean, that's so disrespectful. Somebody went out of their way to give you permission to be on their property. I'm not even talking, I'm talking about public parks as well. Hey, you know what? You see a pop can lying over on the ground as you're walking by. You didn't dig that. It's just lying. Be a good ambassador, man. Just pick it up. Pick it up. And you know what goes really far is if there's a group of people having a picnic or something and you go pick up that can on the ground and put it in the garbage and they'll be like, oh, did you see what that guy just did? That is cool. Right on. Good stuff. Okay? Be a good ambassador to the hobby, man. Take your trash. Okay, let's talk about number three, man. Be a good ambassador to the hobby, all right? And when I say that, conduct yourself when you're out there in public. Don't be carrying a detector in your hand and somebody says something negative, tell them to go, go fly a kite in the politest terms possible. No, man, be the best ambassador you can be. Be a good representative, man. Somebody comes up to you negatively and say, hey, you know what? I'm sorry you feel that way, but here's what I do. Here's exactly what I do. And I'm not sure if you're aware that, when I dig a hole, I take my trash, I put a rag around the hole so I don't, and I invite people. I said, watch this. I'm digging this hole right now. Watch me dig this hole. I said, I want to change your perspective of it. And that's how you be a good ambassador. You talk to people, you promote the hobby. And that kind of it's a segue into what we call mentorship. All right. There's a lot of people out there who need mentorship. And when I say that, that's another segue into filling in your holes. A lot of newbies, they go out with dad and they go in and they to a store, any big store. It could be Cabela's. I don't know, any store you got, Bass Pro Shop, anywhere they sell detectors. You buy a detector, you go over to the lumber store, you buy a shovel, and you go into the park and you start digging. You know what? It just doesn't work that easily, man. It's not that easy. You need to understand how to dig a proper hole, and that's the most important thing. It's how you leave the place. It's how you leave it is how people are going to judge you when you on how you are as a detectorist. So what I'm saying is watch YouTube. There's plenty of videos out there on YouTube. Just type in digging a hole, metal detecting, how to dig a proper hole, proper plug. Boom, it's going to be right there for you. People talk about it all the time. It's very, very important, okay? It's like the camper, they call it the camper's code. You need to walk away with it cleaner than how you found it. And that's how we maintain our detecting. That's how we keep all of our detecting rights, we'll call it, all right? The big one right there, folks. Look at this. This is my son, all right? The delinquent. Anyways, hold on. I'm not done with you. I tried to get him in the metal detecting when he was younger, and he kind of liked it a little bit. And then I think why don't you like it? You think we're nerds?
Yeah.
All right, folks, I want to deep dive right into it now. I want to get right into it knee deep. I want to get into these questions that I had asked all these detectorists, all right? I had asked a bunch of detectorists all the same questions, and I got their perspectives, all right? This is really cool. So I'm going to start with the first question I had asked. And the first person I got a response from was Lori Gagne from Relics Dirty Hands, all right? Lori and her husband, I call them the Duke and Duchess of Dirt. I mean, phenomenal people. You want to talk about ambassadors to the hobby, and that's a segue to the question, because my question was, how do you promote or how are you a good ambassador to the hobby? All right. So here, first that was my first question. Lori's answer. Within months of the hobby, we discovered a code of ethics and made a pact to follow these rules to save our rights to detect. I wouldn't say we're ambassadors, but we hope to show others that it's possible to succeed in the hobby without breaking the rules. Let me tell you this, Lori. You think you may not be an ambassador, but what the answer you gave me, you are an ambassador. Absolutely. And I've seen your videos and I watch you guys. There was a video you put out this summer where there was a kid in the park who recognized you guys because he watches your videos, and he was so excited and he came over. And what did you guys do? You guys set him up with a detector and got him detecting with you right there. Now tell me you're not an ambassador to the hobby. Absolutely you are. Phenomenal. Good stuff. All right. Next person I asked, Chris Boardwine, Davie County Diggers down there in, I think he's North Carolina. I apologize, Chris, if I got the Carolina wrong, but I believe it's North Carolina. Chris Boardwine, Davie County Diggers. Check them out, man. These guys are phenomenal. I mean, they get a lot of Civil War stuff. I'm talking tons and tons of bullets. Just good people, all right? When you talk about good human beings, we talk about Chris and his group over there at Davie County Diggers, all right? So Chris's answer when I said, how do you promote or be a good ambassador to the hobby? Here's what Chris had to say. I make sure that I have permission for my sites, always fill in my holes, and clean up after myself. I am more than willing to talk to folks who stop to ask questions and love to attend detecting events where I can network and encourage the younger generation. How about that? How about that for an answer, eh? Chris and the boys, Davie County Diggers, you got it right, man. Perfect, all right? Oh, I love this guy, the next guy. This guy cracks me up, and it's funny because, you know, everybody knows who the Quarter Hoarder is. Everybody watches the Quarter Hoarder. This guy is so well known. But when I watch these videos, I'm always watching other people in the video as well. I mean, I love watching Jason. He makes the video, but you know what? He's got guys in the video with him. PA Pirate Paul. I mean, there's so funny. But the guy I love the most is Doug Johnson. Doug Johnson is Jane Fawn Doug, has Matador Doug. How many different names that Jason throws at this guy? The reason I like Doug so much is he's a veteran to the hobby, and he rolls along, and he's so funny, and he finds stuff, and the best part about Doug is he's such a nice guy. And I threw that question out there to Doug. I messaged him, hey Doug, would you want to do some Q&As for me, question and answers? And he immediately responded back, said, I'd love to, man. He blah blah blah. He was just such a great guy. So I asked him, how do you promote or be a good ambassador to the hobby? Here's what Doug had to say. I like to think that our weekly Quarter Hoarder videos typify our endeavor to promote the hobby and to show how much fun the hobby can be. There it is. And listen, I'm telling you guys, anybody's watching this video, if you don't know who the Quarter Hoarder is, Doug Johnson, Jane Fawn, Doug, you got to get in, all right? I'm not saying I'm a funny guy, but we love our videos. They lean heavily on humor. But you want to watch some humor. You want to talk about some camaraderie, banter between detectorists. You watch Jason and Doug in action on the Quarter Hoarder. These guys are just the best. They are so funny. And they're always promoting the hobby as well. Great job. Great job. Yeah, the next one. Hey, the next one, we're coming back home on this one. This is my own buddy, my digging partner here, the Bradford Beeper. The Bradford Beeper. Let me tell you about what the Bradford Beeper is out of his mind. When Redbeard and I, we always keep our circle very tight of who we detect with. Redbeard, and it was about 2 years ago. We were at an event, and this guy approached us and started talking to us, and I'm like, okay, I've always being polite, chatting, and I was listening to the guy talk, and I'm like, this guy doesn't talk like anybody else. This guy's like, he was talking to me like we were buddies. And I felt like he was a friend to me. Like he was a friend of mine right from the second he opened his mouth. And after he left, I said to Redbeard, I said, I really like that guy, man. He's a super nice guy. And we extended the olive branch. We decided we're going to bring him out and hunt with us once. And that was all it took. That was all she read. And we've been hitting it hard with this guy for the last 2 years. Just phenomenal. So I asked the Redbeard, not Redbeard, I asked the Bradford Beeper, I said, how do you promote and how are you a good ambassador to the hobby? Here's what he had to say. I make sure that I have permission for my sites. Always fill in my holes and clean up after myself. I am more than willing to talk to folks who stop to ask questions and love to attend detecting events where I can network and encourage the younger generation. Yeah, and that's the truth. And he's really good. I've been with him so many times detecting, and I watch him stop. You want to talk about a good ambassador to the hobby? He stops and talks to everybody. He's always professional to everybody. People have come up and were like, you could just see the steam. I always call it the mayor of the town, or somebody I call them the mayor shows up who thinks they run the town and they're in charge, and hey, you shouldn't be here. What are you doing here? And I watch this guy in action. He's so polite. I call him the Bradford Beeper. His name's Mike. He's always professional, at the utmost professional with people, and he does a great job promoting the hobby. He really does. He'll talk to anybody who will listen. Okay, so the last person I want to talk about right now is Jason Bazzufi. I'm talking about the quarter hoarder himself. I sent him a message, said, hey, Jason, would you be willing to talk, answer some questions? And he jumped on immediately, said, PopCan, I'm all over this. Let's do it. And I sent him the list of questions. He fired them all back. Great answers, man. That's the thing I love about Jason. He'll talk to you. He comments on things on my videos, and he's very well known across North America, man. This guy is like top notch. And you know what? He takes the time for all the smaller guys out there, even people who don't even detect, who are not even on social media. He takes time for everybody. I've seen this guy in action, man. Phenomenal, all right? So when I asked Jason, I said, how do you promote? How are you good ambassadors to the hobby? Here's what he had to say. I don't know if I'm an ambassador, but I try my best to assist people starting up the hobby. Anything from helping them to choose the right equipment for their budget to helping them figure out where they can go in their area. Even finding a local club for them so they can join and pick up tips and tricks faster than they would by themselves. Hey, what did he say? I don't know if I'm an ambassador. Everything he just said, he is an ambassador. He really is. If you watch his videos, he's always, at the end of the videos, he's always willing to help people to find the right detector for them. He has a little piece at the end of each video. He talks about it. And he said, you message me and I'll get you set up. I'll proper rate detectors. It's not about selling detectors. It's about getting people in the hobby the right way. And Jason, you do that. Awesome, man. Good job. Anyways, folks, that's it. I'm going to close shop. So we'll call this episode 1 of the plan. Episode 1 of the plan. Wow, that's so original. Anyways, hey, episode 1, we're in the books. We're done. So hope you enjoyed it. Anything about the video, throw it in your comment section underneath. I want to hear, the reason I'm doing these videos is I want you guys to comment in the comment section. And then when I read some of the comments, I want to be able to carry them into the next video. And I'm going to say, hey, from episode 1, so-and-so said this and this and that. And I want you guys to be a part of the video process. All right? Does that sound good? I've talked enough. Let's get the heck out of here. We're gone.